Welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and what a week this has been in the world of Sudoku. Day after day after day we have been able to showcase some of the most magnificent puzzles, not only in the world at the moment, but I would argue that there has ever been. So if you've not been watching the channel much this week, do go back over some of those videos. You will find some extraordinary stuff. Demono's progressive devices puzzle, that was very hard but very, very interesting, involving modulo arithmetic. And then of course this amazing, let me see if I've still got it here, yeah, this one, the Aquarium by rubenscube. Now just try and have a go at this. This is one of the most remarkable things you will ever try in your lives. We've had so many people tweet about this puzzle to us to say, what on earth is going on? And yeah, it's really, really worth your attention, I promise you. So one of the most extraordinary Sudokus ever, undoubtedly, the Aquarium by rubenscube. Now, what have we got for you today? Well, look at this. I mean, this is by Aaron Lide, who goes under the pseudonym of Spartacus, and I mean, I'm almost lost for words, to be honest. So somehow Spartacus has written out my name and Mark's name reflected around the diagonal here, using German whispers and Renban lines. It's the prettiest thing you can possibly imagine. And Mark's tested this and he says it's a brilliant puzzle. So yeah, this is the one we're going to have a look at in a moment. But I mean, it's actually a very special day today for Spartacus, because his wife and he are celebrating their 10th wedding anniversary. So Aaron, if you're watching this, I hope you both have an absolutely superb day. I hope this video goes some way towards making it even more special, or that little bit special. And yeah, many, many congratulations from us all at Cracking the Cryptic. Now, that said and done, what else do I need to tell you about today? Is there anything else? There was one thing. Yes, on Sunday, it's the 1st of May. And so Sunday is the day when we're going to be releasing the May monthly reward over on Patreon. So we've finally settled on what we're doing. It's another small Sudoku hunt and should be approachable. So look out for that. You won't regret it. Other than that, nothing else to tell you. So, I didn't tell you the title of this puzzle. It's called the 4 4s, and that I can see why. There are 4 4s in the grid. So Spartacus has even been kind to me today and given me lots of given digits. Now, yeah, that's the other thing Mark said to do. Mark suggested, so I'm going to put a couple of links under the video. One to this puzzle, so you can do it exactly as this one looks. But if you do it in this manner, then know that the grey lines are just for aesthetic reasons. So anything that appears in grey outside the grid can basically be ignored for the purposes of solving. And that's going to matter, for example, along this German whispers line, because this isn't, what that's saying is this isn't a real German whispers line. It's just been included by a Spartacus in order to create this magnificent sort of visual effect. So you can have a go at this version, but Mark said in the video I should do this version, which you can see, yeah, it's less pretty, because you can't really see the way that Simon has been delineated, or indeed the bottom part of the M of Mark, which was actually there. You can't really see it, but it removes any ambiguity that people might have worried about while watching the video about how the cells outside the grid work. So this is the one we're going to have a go at. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Neighbouring digits along green lines need to have a difference of at least 5. So if this cell was a 1, this square here would have to be at least a 6, because it must be 5 different from 1. And the digits on a purple line have to be a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. So let's imagine this square here was a 7. Then we would know that this line would have to contain, because it has to contain a consecutive series, it must contain the digits 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we could put the 6 and the 5 in any order. So something like that would be a legitimate way of filling the purple line. Now do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. And now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I think it's likely we're going to have to start with the German whispers lines. That's the green lines, rather than the rem bands, which are the purple lines, just because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that rem band line is quite lengthy, but probably not lengthy enough. If it's six cells in length, it must contain a 4, a 5, and a 6. And the way to tell that is to start by counting from the lowest digit. So if we count 6 digits from 1, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we count 6 digits downwards from 9, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you can see in both of those instances we use the digits 4, 5, and 6. So there must be a so there must be a 4, 5, and 6 on this line. 4 can't go in those cells by sudoku. 4 can't go in these cells by sudoku. So 4 is placed in box 1 by our old friend sudoku. 4 here, there are effectively 4 4s looking at box 1. So we get a 4 here. Now that's a bit annoying, because I can tell you something, putting a 4 on a German whispers line is super powerful, because of course the next digit along it has to be 5 different from 4, and there is only one such digit that meets that criteria. I'll leave it as an exercise for the viewer to work out which digit that is. So actually, here's an example. Can you make this digit a 4? No, you cannot, because those two digits would both have to be, you've guessed it, 9, and we can't put 2 9s in box 9, even if we want to. Same thing here in box 5. You can't put a 4 here, because again it would have to be surrounded by double 9. So we've got to put a 4 in one of those two. And this is the box where we probably need to study what can and can't be 4. You can't put 4 here, because that would put double 9 there. Okay, but rather annoyingly, my name has let me down here, because the O of Simon in this puzzle seems to be diagonal, and so I can put 4 here, because it would need 2 9s adjacent to it, but the 9s wouldn't see each other through the medium of O-ness, so that's not actually useful. So 4, I think, 4 can't go here, because that would cause double 9, so actually, right, so 4 is in one of 3 places. Okay, does that mean this is a 4? Let me just... No. Silly Simon. 4 is not in those, but it can be here. So I was about to get ahead of myself there. You can put 4 here. That's not on a whispers line. It's not restricted. So we can't argue that the 4 in row 5 has to be here, at least not yet. Is it my phone? No. Alright, well, why don't we look at 5s then? Because 5s in German whispers do not get on at all. And you can see that if you try and force a 5 onto a whispers line, you basically make the line very deeply unhappy, because the next digit along it will have to be 5 different from 5 at least, and therefore we're in the territory of 0 or negative numbers, or 10 or higher, and we can't do that in sudoku. So 5 in this box is in one of 2 places now. It can't be on the whispers lines. Oh, right. Okay, remember that this purple line had a 5 on it somewhere, because it's got 4, 5, and 6 on it. Well, the 5s can't be on the whispers line, so there's a 5 in one of 4 places in box 4. This isn't working at all. 5 can now go in 3 places in box 2. 3 places, I want to say, in box 5. Another 3 places, I think, in box 8. Yeah, it's quite hard to scan this for me anyway. I keep thinking that these diagonal lines are really affecting how many of the cells in the boxes can be 5s, but somehow they keep... Yeah, see, look, that one. This one looks like it's full of greenness, but actually there are 2 cells that are not green at all. So 5's got loads of positions in box 9. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry. Oh, okay, right. I have spotted something. Where does 5 go in this column? And the way I got that was I looked at the 5s in boxes 8 and 5 and saw they were aligning in columns 4 and 5. And whenever you get that effect, you know that in this box up here we can't put 5s in these cells, because that would be a third 5 in just 2 columns of the Sudoku, and that's just silly. So the 5 must go there, and that's actually nice. Look, so that means that's a 5. 5 is in one of these cells, and it would be much more useful if we knew that the 5 was off the Renban. If we knew one of these was a 5, we would know that because the Renban has a 4 on it, a lower digit than 5, it would have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. So why do we know that the 5 is in one of these 2 cells? I don't know. Okay. So if this was 5 on the other hand, what would we know then? Almost nothing. Oh, no, we still would know something. If that's 5, that's 5. So one of these 2 would be a 5. Okay. I'm stuck. So what we might have to think about now, I think, is the only other thing I know about German Whispers lines. So I know 2 things. 1, there's never a 5 on them. 2, they have polarity. They oscillate. And what do I mean by oscillate? Well, let's make this digit a 1. What does this digit then have to be? And the answer is it has to be higher than 5, because it's got to be 5 different from 1. But once we decide this digit is higher than 5, what's the next digit on the line then? Well, that must be lower than 5 again. So you get this oscillation effect. And that means we can colour these lines. So let's make this cell. So those 3 are all the same polarity. They're either all high or all low. Those 2 are the same, I think. Yeah, those 2 are the same. That one is the same. Aha. Right, immediately this is paying dividends. Let's look at this. So these orange cells all have the same polarity, which means the cells in between the orange cells, which are those ones, I think. I'll use blue and orange because I think that they are the most colourblind friendly colours for those who are predisposed to suffer from such things. But look now, we've actually learnt something straight away about the nature of orange. These are the things we get to learn on Cracking the Cryptic. So what is orange? Well, it's in box 1, all 4 of a particular polarity are on the Whispers lines. So that means either the orange here is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's not that, because there's a 4 here. Or it's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. So it must be that, which means that that sort of state obviously preserves itself along the whole line. So we know every blue cell on the line is now 1, 2, 3 or 4, and that's not 4, and that's not 4, and that's not 4, and that's not 4. So these are all 1s, 2s and 3s. And eliminating, well, right, this is not a 3 either, because if that's a 3, all 3 of these digits, which are all adjacent to the 3 on the line, would have to be 5 different. So they'd all have to be selected from 8s and 9s, and therefore we're going to have to repeat one of them. So that's not a 3. And if it's a 2, this would be a 6, which would cause these 2 to both be 1s. And that might work. That might actually work. Okay, so maybe I can't. Maybe I don't know what this digit is yet. But 4 we now know is blue, because we've decided that we're going to have. This has worked out well, because blue is a colder colour, isn't it? So we've got the sort of tropical heat of the orange and the sun versus the cold blueness of the low numbers. and the 5s therefore are going to be middly and white. Right, so that's blue. That's what we know. So that's got to be 1, 2, or 3. So we've got, this is good. Yeah, look at row 1 now. We've got all. Oh no, we haven't. Sorry, no, I totally miscounted that. I was about to say we've got all the blues, but we haven't. We've got 3, but we haven't got the 4th. So I can't colour in this line. Oh, bobbins, that's annoying. Can that be a 3? Because if this can't be a 3, we've got a 1, 2 pair. If that's a 3... Oh, that's really weird. No, this might be able to be a 3. Because if that's a 3, you have to put 8 and 9 there, but you also put 8 and 9 there. And those, of course, don't see each other, those dominoes. So that might be okay. So maybe we don't know what this digit is. Oh, I've now got a high digit on the Renban. But that's, again, that's known in a way. If this was a 6, which it can be, then it could still be the only high digit on the Renban. Okay, right, let's try the next, we'll try the next slice of greenness, shall we? So we're going to have to use different colours now, because we don't know whether this digit here is either orange or blue yet. But we do know we're going to have oscillation, so we're going to have to oscillate the line. That's going to be something, that's going to be the same thing. Those two are the same, and that's the same, so we'll make those red. And then we'll make the gaps some other colour, I haven't decided yet. I think it's those ones, we'll make those yellow, shall we? Have I got all of them? That's the question. I think I have. I've got 3 yellows in this column. So if yellow was blue, that would work out rather nicely. Right, got it. Okay, look at column 6. And let's keep going with our colouring of greennesses. Let's extend our greenness colouring to the bottom whispers line. So this one, whatever that is, has to be the same as this one. So these have the same polarity. Let's just extend that along the line. All of those have the same. I'll make those purple. And therefore we'll make the gaps as grey, maybe. But I think we're going to get some sort of equalization of colours here. Because now ask the question, and these are the silly questions we get to ask, is yellow purple? And the answer to that should be clear, because we know if yellow was purple, there would be 5 digits of the same polarity in column 6, and that's silly, that's impossible. We know we're dealing with, in terms of polarity, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 set and a 6, 7, 8, 9 set. So yellow is not purple, which means that purple is the same as red. So purple is red, which means grey is yellow. And now we've got a complete count on this column. We've got 3 yellows and we've got a blue as the spare. So we've now proved that yellow is blue. And therefore purple is orange. And there we go. So now we've coloured everything. That's gorgeous, isn't it, the way that sort of unwound. Imagine trying to set this puzzle. It's just ludicrous. You give yourself, I mean, the thing is, you haven't got much flexibility if you decide to use my name and Mark's name, because they're fairly fixed things. Imagine if it only worked if my name was spelt with a Y or something. That would have been annoying. That'd be straight down to deed poll. Now, what does this mean, though? Can we immediately conclude some things? Well, I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple here, therefore. Now, is there any way we can rule 3 out of some of these cells? Because 3 is going to be the most restricted, because it's going to force 8s and 9s in its adjacent cells. Actually, they're all diagonal all the time. Oh, that one sees. Oh, look, no, sees 3 other digits, but they're all. Oh, that can't be 4 anymore because that's the wrong height. This is a high. This is high polarity, so that's not 4. But it it doesn't. I don't think it matters. Okay. Right, so let's label up all of the blues then, because I think we might be able to do something by the fact we've got so many 4s in the grid. So those are all 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s in theory, but that can't be 4. Oh no, this isn't going to work either, I don't think. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I've got rid of a lot of 4s, but I haven't got rid of those 2 as being 4s. Oh, I tell you something, I can get rid of 4 from here, not by sudoku, but by Whisper's logic. If that's a 4, those 2 have to both be 9, and that's not going to work. And if this was a 4, these would both be 9, and that might work. I've got another high digit now on my renban over here. So that means... What does that mean? So that means the minimum number of high digits would be 6, 7. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So there's no 1 on this renban anymore. So the 1 in box 4 is in that cell, or that cell, which is incredibly annoying. That's incredibly annoying. I don't think that's any restriction at all. Okay, right, what do we do next then? We've got to argue about... Maybe we can restrict 6s in orange. That's the other thing I'm just wondering about. Let's fill in some orangeness and see whether we can... see, immediately you can't have 6 here because that's going to cause double 1 next to it on the whispers. This one, that's the same. That's going to cause double 1 vertically in column 6. This is the same. That's going to cause double 1 here. That's not the same. Alright, let's try this one. No, that's not the same. That one can't have a 6. That would cause double 1 in column 9. That one can't be a 6. It would cause double 1 here. That one can be a 6. This one only sees 1 digit. This one can be a 6. Oh no, oh, that one can't be. That would cause double 1 in box 5. That would, no. Double 1 here. Oh dear. So what have we actually learned? We've got all the colouring. We've got... I suspect what we've got here, I just haven't spotted where it is there's probably a row or column that's got 4 of the same colour in it. Now I'm just not seeing it. I can see this is one of each, because we've got 3 blues and 3 oranges in row 3. So this is sort of one of each colour. Right, here's something. Yes, got something. Right, let's look at this renban. So, I don't think these can be 5s anymore. If either of these is 5, this renban is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. And those 2 squares have to be 1, 2, and 3, and that breaks column 9. We'd have to have 4 digits in column 9 that are 1s, 2s, and 3s if 5 is off this renban. So 5 is on the renban, which... okay, well that places... Right, so that places 5 in box number 6. Which tells us we now know this colour, don't we? We now know that's got to be a blue digit because we need a 4th blue digit in this box. So one of those cells is now 5. This square, all these cells can't be 5 anymore. So 5 has got 2 options in box 4. Ooh, have I got a 4-5 pair? Is that a 4-5 pair that's just emerged from pencil marking in box 5? I think it is. Yes, 4 has to be in one of those two, and 5 does. Right, so we've got a 4-5 pair here. Which, 4 is a low digit, isn't it? So this needs to be another high digit. That completes our quota of highs for row 5. Which means these 2 digits now have to be low digits, which might be important. So, so we've now got, oh no, I don't, because I don't know which way round this is. That's infuriating. Oh, I'm sure there's something we can do here. I just can't quite... Oh, that's not 5 anymore. So now 5 is in one of those cells. Ah, I've got it. I've got it. Right. Now we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of the grid and ask about row 8. Because I've got 5s in those 2 positions and 5s in those 2 positions in boxes 8 and 9. So we can ask where 5 goes in this row. It can't go in those 6 cells. It can't go on the Renban here by Sudoku, so it's in one of these 2, but that's huge because it's off the Renban. So the Renban, which has a low digit on it, is full of low digits. Ah, this is massive. Right, so now we've got loads of stuff going on. We've got all our low digits in row 9, so everything that can't be 5 in this row is now a high digit. We can do the same, I think, in this column. Oh, yeah, this can't be a 1 anymore. Oh, but I had 1 in 3 positions in box number 4. This square here has to be high, though. So these are all 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. I think they're all off the whispers lines, though, so they probably have a fairly free reign. I've got, now I've got 4 high digits in row 6, and I've only got 2 definite low digits. And I can't, beautiful, right, this cannot be 2 low digits, because if it's 2 low digits, I'd have 5 low digits in this box. So that means that's a low digit, which means it's not a 5. So that's a 4, that's a 5, so that's a 5, and this is therefore low. And so now I've got, right, now I know that's high. This is going to be huge. Now this Renban line is actually known. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We've actually filled this Renban line up with, not with digits yet, but with colours. But because it's a Renban, we now know its nature. It's got 2 digits on it that are lower than 5. And it's got 3 digits on it that are higher than 5, so we know what the digits must be. So the 3 that are higher than 5 must be 6, 7, and 8. And the 2 that are lower than 5 must be the 4 and the 3. And the 4 seems to have to go there. So that's a 4. That must be a 3. This is a 1-2 pair. Hang on a minute, let me just see what this does. None of this is on whispers, that's the problem. So although this is very important, I think, that square's now high, because it can't be a 5, and we need more high digits in this column. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. 1 is in one of those 2 cells, but so is 2, so that's, we'll just stick with the normal way of pencil marking that. 3 is in one of those cells, so that's not a 3. So, yes, 1-2 pair in row 4. So these 2 squares are a 3-4 pair. And the exciting thing about that is that this one is on the whisper. So those 2 squares have to be selectable from 8s and 9s only, because they need to be 5 away from at least 3. So, I see, if we knew these were the same, then we would know that digit was the same as these two digits, but we don't. They don't have to be the same. They could be an 8-9 pair if this is a 3. Oh, look, 3 comes out. Oh, yeah, we already knew that. 3 comes out of this. This is a 1-2 pair. Wow, okay. Oh, I've got 4 lows in column 4, and that can't be a 5, so that's got to be a sunny digit. That's got to be a sunny digit. So we've got 2 more sunny digits in box 2. We've got our quota of sunny digits in this column, so this square has got to be a cold digit. Now I've got a 1, 2, 3. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row. Oh, this is strange, isn't it? Oh, well, I've got 1 of each here. So I've got 1 of each here, 1 of each here. This rem band's going to be critical somehow. Well, it's either this rem band or it's Sudoku, and I know you're all going to scream at me for some sort of Sudoku mistake. Not seeing much Sudoku wise. So how do we fix this rem band? We have got to know whether it's got. We've got to know whether it's either got a 3 on it or a 6 on it, or off it would be more useful actually. Now. Oh, I see. Right. No, this is. Or is it? Hang on. Well, I know something. Look at column 8. These digits here have to include a sunny digit, because all of the cold digits are in those 5 cells. I don't know where the 4 goes, but those 5 cells must contain the cold digits. So one of these is high, which means all of these 5 cells contain the 4 high digits, which means that cell, and that cell for that matter, have to be cold digits. And now we've got all our cold digits in this row, so that is indeed high. This is also high now. Oh, this is so close to cracking, I think. Oh no, I've cracked it. I've cracked it. Look. In this column, there's a 3 in one of those. And that's beautiful, because once there's a 3 off the rem band, we now know the nature of the rem band. It must be 4, 5, because it can't have 3 on it, and it's got 4 on it. It must be 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a 6, 7 pair. This is an 8 or a 9 now. Oh, that doesn't restrict these digits. That's an 8 or a 9, because it's also high. That's going to be sunny. This has got to now be a 1 or a 2 only, because it can't be 3. There's a 1, 2 pair in this column. That gives me a 3. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's a 3. Bobbins. That doesn't resolve those two. But what it does do is it tells us these cells can't include 7 now, which gives me an 8, 9 pair, which gives me a 6, 7 pair, which means this square's not 6 or 7. Which... this can't be 3, can it? No, 3 would have to be next to at least an 8, so that's not 3. I've got a 1, 2 pair, which gives me a 3 here. That 3 must be huge. And I say that with good reason, I think, because it sees 3 different cells on the whispers lines, all of which now need to be at least equal to 8. So that seems to reveal an 8, 9 pair in row 7, which means that's 6 or 7, and an 8, 9 pair in this column, which means that these two are 6 or 7. And it means that there's an 8, 9 pair in this box, so those two are 6 and 7, which means that one is those. So we've got an 8-9 pair here, which means everything's sort of almost getting disambiguated. That can't be 3 anymore because it would need to be not next to a 6 or a 7. So that's a 1-2 pair, and that's 3 in, and that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So this is a 1-2 pair. That's 3, not in the corner. And okay, now has this actually broken the puzzle open, or is it just wishful thinking? Yes. Yes, okay, this digit can't be next to a 3 on the whisper, so that gives us a 1-2 pair here, a 3 here. Oh, which I think we already had, actually, if I'd noticed that. That's a 3. So I've got a 1-2 pair. I've got 3s all over. Oh, this is a 3, apparently. Is that true? How do I know that this square... Oh, no, that isn't a 3. Yeah, that is correct, isn't it? So that's a 3. Oh, yeah, there were 4 3s looking at it. So, in fact, we've done all the 3s out of that. That's no longer a 3. So we've got a 1-2. We've got loads of 1-2 pairs. And somehow these have to get disambiguated. And I wish I knew how we were going to do that. Oh, I had a horrible moment there where I saw a 4 next to a 6 or a 7. I was thinking how they can't be next to each other on a whisper, but they don't appear to be on the whispers together. So that can be 6 or 7. It's going to be as simple, isn't it, as one of these digits not being, you know, us not being able to put 6 into one of these digits because it will cause a double 1 in the same. Yeah, yes, there. That's where it is. That's where it is. If that's 6, you have to put double 1 in the box. So that's 7. And that might just go through the puzzle like a dose of salts. Let's hope so. Or not, actually. Oh dear. There had to be... Here's a little bit of logic. There had to be a 7 in those 3 on the rem band, didn't there? So that's got to be the 7. So that's a 6. 6. Oh, this has become a 7 by sudoku. It sees 6, 8 and 9 in its row. 6, 8 here means this has got to be a 9. That's got to be an 8. Oh, there's an 8, 9 pair here. So this has become a 6, 7 pair. So 9 is in one of those 2 cells, and I must know which one it is. Yes, that's 9, that's 5, which means that's 5, this gets orangified, that gets un-5ified and also orangified. This column hasn't got a 4 in it. Yes, it goes there. Okay, that makes some sense, doesn't it? Which means this square must be orange and not 4. Unfortunately, I think it's got all the options. Oh, that square can only be 6 or 7, mind you. But this one I think could be 6, 7, 8 or 9. Right, so let's go back to removing 7s from over here. And 5 we can place, which means this square has got to be 6, 7 or 8 and is definitely orange. Okay, let's take a let's not take a break. Let's keep going with the sudoku. So 9s come out of those. 6, 7 pair here. That is on the whisper, but it can be next to 1 or 2. That can't be a 6, can it? That's going to have 1, yeah, above and below it. So it looks like it's just a bit of German whispering. I've got an 8, 9 pair in this row, so this is 6, that's 8, but that's much more important than that, is the fact that I've got to put 1s next to the 6 on the whisper, which disambiguates the 2 and the 1. I get the 1 and the 2 and the 1. Does that go... Yes, I get 1 and a 2 here, 1 and a 2 here, 1 and a 2 here. Have I done all? No. 2, 1, 2. 2 here. I want to say I've done all my blue digits now. I can't see any that I've missed. So yeah, and this is gorgeous now. There's a 2 here, which can't be next to a 6 on the whisper, so that does the 7s and the 6s. So 7's come out of these squares. Where does 7 go in this column? It can only go there, which gives me a 6 up here, which means this is an 8-9 pair, which means that's a 6-7 pair at the bottom. That becomes an 8 in the corner, which gives us a 6 over there. 6 here, 7 here, 6 here, 7 here, 9 here, therefore that's a 6, 9, 8, it's done I think. I think this is done. It seems like it's disambiguating, probably famous last words, but 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 9. Now we have a quick stare at this to see whether it looks like we've only got 5s left. We click tick. Yay! Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. That is an incredible puzzle, Spartacus. Just, I mean, it's genius. Let's remind ourselves where this started, with a reflection of Simon and Mark around the diagonal. It is just startling. And just by flicking the R here into being a Renban, it solves, so not only did it solve uniquely, it solves very, very prettily. It's such a gorgeous puzzle. The way that these edges, and whether they were going to be 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s, worked was quite beautiful. And I loved, I really liked that you could get the high digits in those cells, forcing those two to be low and then disambiguating that top right Renban. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Let me know in the comments how you got on. You might want to wish a certain couple a very happy anniversary as well. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.